It's going to be a little late, but whatever. Oh, it's going to make me go through that shit. I'm not going to do that. I don't care. Okay. All right. What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys have been well. I'm Patrick from POWLAX, and this is just the February update since I haven't been streaming at all. So, first things first, this update is not really an update. It's really just more so a test so that I can make sure that my stream is going to be doing well for the podcast episodes that are going to be coming up, as well as the coaches only Q&A. And I'm mostly testing out YouTube, not Instagram, even though Instagram is here as well. But this is kind of like my new setup. I moved everything and got a bunch of lights and yada yada. It's really plain. I don't think I'll put anything up there because I'll probably film my other videos there. But the main objective is to make sure that as this is streaming, the YouTube feed is good. And I mean, Instagram's too simple not to just work. So, updates. The main things I've been working on right now are, well, so why have I not been streaming? I've not been streaming because I just had a daughter named Hadley who is very healthy, doing very well, about 4 months ago. So now I am working with, so debating whether I should tell a story. So there's a thing for any of you who don't have kids called the 100 Days of Hell. The 100 Days of Hell are the first 100 days after you have a child, because your whole life switches. Your whole life upends and you have to find new strategies to do everything. Like your entire schedule just reroutes itself, right? And so I figured that the big one was the first kid, and that the second kid would kind of just, it would just flow through pretty well and it would be pretty easy. Oh boy, was I wrong. Totally wrong. The second kid is way more difficult than the first kid because, and here's why, it's a very easy explanation. There's no breaks. Because if you ever don't have the one kid, you have the other kid. So learning to navigate your life with two kids is a lot different than navigating it with one kid. And so the whole idea about being able to, get work done and really have that creative flow definitely doesn't happen very often. And so now my wife and I are just working on, how to make sure that she gets her work days in and then I get my work time in. And for the most part, I've literally just been trying to work from I'd say 7 o'clock at night till 9. If I don't get anything done, I always feel so bad because I have so many ideas and so much stuff I want to accomplish. But for the most part, that's why I haven't been doing any streaming. And then the other thing, and so just to start the actual update is, so many of you, if you've been on, 6 kids sounds I don't even know how you would do that, but hopefully with 6 kids, some of them would be able to make it through a day without your constant attention, right? Which 2-year-olds can't, obviously, but either way, I can't imagine 6 kids is basically what I'm saying. That's ridiculous. So, for those of you who've been on either YouTube or Instagram, Facebook things, I'm running a set of ads for all the kind of stuff I do right now. But more importantly, many of you have probably seen the POWLAX Digital Playbook, which is something that we just came up with Lacrosse Lab. And so I'm going to show you kind of what it is really quick, just to let you know that this is one of the things that I'm working on right now as well. So when you go to either powlax.com and you can kind of search the site, but basically I've always wanted to have my playbook digitized, and I used the green screen drills and did things like that with an app called PlayScriptor, but I can never save them, I can never share them. But so this Lacrosse Lab stuff basically allows me to share and save it. But so I've got an entire playbook. I don't know if you guys can see here. We'll go Instagram first and then there. But so basically I've got 138 drills. There aren't actually 138 drills. Many of them show different parts and aspects of each drill. But so you look into offense, I've got the 21-12 offense, a bunch of different motions, dodge, follow, float, dodge, mirror, fade. But so basically on the field, you'll have access to this and you'll be able to hit play and show the diagrams of these moving, right? And so as you show them moving, hopefully that allows your players to understand a little quicker, understand a little better, and that is an aspect of one of the things I've been working on. Now, another reason why I have not been posting is because I have wanted to build a curriculum for the longest time. I've done coaching videos where I do presentations in front of a lot of coaches, and those have gone very, very well. An issue with those is that I end up building only about, I end up building for an entire spring, and then I teach one set of things. And so this is going to be an actual curriculum run through POWLAX.com where coaches are going to be able to sign up, and I don't know exactly how long it's going to be. It's looking like it's probably going to be a 10-hour course, but it's going to go through and really teach and quiz on a ton of different things for, I don't want to say new coaches, but I want to say like coaches who are in years 2 through 4. That's who it's really going to be, narrowed down to. And many of the things we're going to do are going to be good for coaches who are just getting ready to run a season, right? Like that's the whole idea is, as a coach, how do you navigate building what you'd like to see on the field with your players in X amount of time? And this is also going to come back in through, well, it's basically going to have an overview that will encompass brand new coaches, because that's what I'd say most programs need, is a system and a course that can teach brand new coaches everything they need to know to run a practice, to run something well with their players. And it doesn't matter what type of players. That's one of the things that I'm going to try to make sure that I do really well. So that's what I'm working on. That's why I haven't been streaming. That's why I haven't been running the podcast, as well as obviously the kid and all of that. So we're going to wrap that up. That's going to be basically it. I've got a couple questions already. So if you have any questions on there, I'll stick around for another like 5 minutes and answer some questions. And then I'm going to get to work because I've got a lot to get done. And this is my work day. I actually am taking a legit work day. So I'm pretty pumped about that. And now we're starting to get a lot of people coming in. It'd be perfect for you for basketball and kind of like basketball or I guess baseball. If you're switching to lacrosse from baseball, that'll be definitely a thing to do. Starting in offense and defense, that's going to be an entire section of the, I think it's the second lesson, is going to be an overview of how the game works and how you should think about offense and defense. And then the coolest part about this whole course idea is that it's, originally I thought, hey, I've got all this content, I can just throw this into a course and it'll be great. I'm actually not going to be using much of my content for the course. I'm going to be using the content as a reference for practice planning and giving a base understanding of what the drills are, but I'm not going to be teaching the drills. I'm going to be teaching coaching principles. So it should be a really awesome thing once I get done. Awesome to hear, Adam. He says, glad to have you back. Damn, I missed the stream. I'm definitely excited to be going. I'm actually excited. I'm going to be working with a couple of new programs this year. And, I think that the broad nature of kind of POWLAX, it just continues to grow. It's crazy. You should see my analytics from last year. The COVID lockdown hit, and my analytics were like soaring higher than they'd ever soared before. And it was just like, just tanked. And so now we're trying to get back up to where we were then. But so Adam, I've got a whole video on managing sublines. It all has to do with how you want to run your clear and your ride. If you want to ride really hard, you really don't have an option of, you have to learn to marry and sub through the midline. But so there's a video called, running the box. It might be that. And so it says subbing on the thumbnail, but the title is running the box, and it'll give you an overview of the majority of how I think about subbing lines. And the key is that you have to have someone who's actually there running the lines, especially with younger teams. If someone's not paying attention to who's ready to go and when they need to go, the kids are never going to run it right until they're high-level high school and they really have a good understanding. Guys jumping into the game, wanting to learn how to coach better. Yep, thank you. It's going to be exciting. I'm really excited to see what people think once I get it done. My goal is to have it done by the end of March. Not the end of March, sorry. The end of February, by the beginning of March. And I've got a lot to build. I saw that question earlier with the 12-player team. I would run a ton of 4v4s. That's what I would do. I would divide up into 3 teams of 4, and I would have them play 4v4s and incorporate, then I would do 2v2s. I'd kind of build up a lot of stuff with 12 guys, and I'd play a ton of 4v4s, and then either, winner stays, take back drills like we call it Fireball, which is essentially a 4v4 drill with one. Is one of them a goalie for your 12-player team? Yeah, because if one of them's a goalie, you'll have to drop that to either 3v3 or you'll just have to sub out 3 players per time. But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff you can run with 12. You could run basically any passing drills or whatnot, but small-sided games are. So if one's a goalie, I would drop that to either 3v3 or run 2v2s or get into 4v4s, but then sub out 3 players at a time. That'll help you at least get some live gameplay drills. I'd also run the Duke scrapping drill. That's probably my favorite drill to run just because it incorporates the clear. And then all kinds of 3v0s, 3v2s, and 3v3s that will give them an understanding of how they want to move and do all that stuff. So let's see, any others? Chris, super pumped. I don't know if you're still on here. You wrote this about University of Minnesota POWLAX a little while ago, but that's awesome. I'm pumped to hear that they're going to be using our stuff, man. It's good to hear. If you need any help with anything or have any questions, definitely shoot me a message. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to mention was we are going to be doing the gold. So let's see. I don't know if I ever got the opportunity to announce this, but the new POWLAX.com has all of the videos and the PDFs and all of the ability to run all my membership stuff through it. So you no longer need to go to, what's it called? You no longer need to go to patreon.com. You can just do it all on POWLAX.com. I'm actually trying to get away from the third party. But that is, we got kids screaming upstairs, so we'll see. I can't really keep my mind on it now. So basically that's just how we're running things. And so now the new gold coaches Q&A was going to happen. I want to say this upcoming Friday or next Monday. And so, that's just a nice little announcement that we'll make and then we'll get all that stuff going. But so for now, I am going to be signing off. I hope you guys have a good week. If you guys have any questions or need anything from me, feel free to send me a message, DM me on Instagram, send me a message on Facebook, shoot me an email at patrick@powlax.com, and we'll get all that stuff going. Let's see. So we got one more question. Do you have any recommendations on building a strength and conditioning program or a program like yours for strength programs? So I am not a strength and conditioning guy. I make sure we do conditioning in practice. It's about it. But for the most part, the strength and conditioning part of the game was the part that I hated. So I was a good player because I had good skills, and I always, I was the not to make light of it, but I was the kid who would sign up for the strength and conditioning program in the summer at 7 a.m. and then I would walk to my friend's house instead of go to the strength and conditioning program because I didn't want to go do that. I wanted to go chase a ball. Like I wanted to go play, but that's just, kind of my thing. And I know that there are a lot of the main thing for building a strength and conditioning program, especially if it's like mine, is just content creation every day. Try and get something out. It's such a different medium than mine because there really aren't many people teaching the game. A lot of people like to teach, there's so many guys who do skill work so well. You've got Casey from Shake School. You've got Jack from Two Wolves. You've got Tintle down in California. You've got Deemer. You've got all these people who are doing those things. And so my objective was not to do that style, because I'm a lowly coach who played a little bit in college and has been coaching for a long time. But when people are going to, I don't know, my market's just different. But so for a strength and conditioning program, if you're talking about something like mine where people would watch and you kind of gain viewers from it, it's just create as much content as you possibly can. Nick, thank you for sharing Flint's highlight video. If you're on Instagram, watch my story and go check out Flint Thielen's highlight video. The kid is ridiculous. He's playing for us for CT. He's a 2022. If that interests you, check it out. Kid is wicked. Also, check out Nick's. Nick is a heck of a player as well. He just now plays for an opposing team. Cool. All right, I'm going to head off. I'm going to get some work done, and I will see you guys later. Cool. Have a good one.